Hi, this is Donna, psychic medium and direct messenger for spirit. If this is your first episode, welcome. I invite you to listen to previous episodes where I link my guest with their loved one in the world of spirit. What started as one thing is morphing into so much more, not just for my guest, but for all of us. Thank you for listening.
Sylvia, it's a beautiful day.
Great. Now will you state, your mother's already here, will you state the first name of the loved one that you'd like to connect with?
Maria Elizabeth, and we used to call her Betsy.
She's very vibrant. She comes in like before you said her name, she's waving her arms and she's like, I'm here. She knows I'm here. I'm here. Very cash. Do you understand?
Yes.
Was she either a very tall woman or like when she walked into a room, you knew she was there?
She was about my height, not very tall, but bubbly.
Bubbly. So if she walked into a room, it was, here I am.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much pay attention to me, but here I am. I am someone you should pay attention to. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like one part of it, I felt ego, and the other, or just, I'm bragging. But the other part, it was like, you should be listening to me. Do you understand?
Yes.
She's saying it to me also. And you're like, Donna, you should listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. Well, okay, I'm listening. What else would you like to say? She said, I can tell you a lot about the non-physical world. I can tell you more than what you've already heard. So I'm asking her, do you know what I've already heard about the non-physical world? She said, oh, I know all about you, Donna. I know all about you. And she's doing this with her hands, right? She's like, I know all about you, Donna. Do you understand how that is her?
Yes.
So does that resonate with you, that that's the sort of person that she was?
Yes, and I would love to hear more about anything she wants to share about the non-physical world.
Exactly. So would I. So I'm asking her because I want to know, how did you look me up? It's like, is there a place in the non-physical world that you can go and like Google Donna Boyle medium? And she said, hey, exactly. That's what I did. I went into the library and I Googled you. And then I saw was downloaded to me everything you've ever done in your entire life, Donna.
Wow.
Sylvia, she's right. That's something I've never heard before about the non-physical world.
Oh, that's so cool.
She's so right. I've never heard that you can do that. She said, so I know all about you, Donna.
Wow.
And she said, calm down, Donna. I'm not going to call you out on anything. You're very good at what you do.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to be in front of you. And I'm like, yay, thank you. Phew. I feel your mom did not cross of old age. That is correct. Yes or no?
Yes. I mean, 66 is not old.
I don't feel a lot of physical pain in my body, which tells me either she denied that physical pain because she was worried about what other people might think. She may have just poo-pooed the pain away and thought, oh, it's nothing, or whatever she had took her very fast. Any of those sound familiar?
It was a very fast cancer, like in terms of, we found out January, and September she was gone.
Yeah, I'd say that was fast, but I don't feel a lot of pain. She didn't have a lot of physical pain. Would that be correct?
I watched her, and it was painful for me to watch her being out of breath with her lung cancer and all of that. And I thought that was painful, but
Okay, what I'm sensing is physical pain. Maybe she's talking about more toward the end. It really was just a simpler crossing because she had already accepted, even though she was a little confused. She was a little confused about how the heck did this happen? Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
She's taking me back in her life as a small child. Do you know much about her life as a child?
Some.
Were there a lot of smokers in her house?
I don't know if her parents smoked. I know my mom and her sister eventually did smoke. I don't know when they started.
I feel there's something that happened prior to her smoking. Do you understand that she's equating to her cancer and what took her?
Oh, wow.
something as a child that she breathed in. And I'm hearing secondhand smoke, but that's the only thing I can suggest and ask you. Was there something that she took in?
From as a child, I don't know.
Okay. She's given that to me, and I'm going to give her that. I'm going to say that that's true, just because of the way she's already been with me, right? Pretty forthright. And she doesn't hold anything against that. She's just showing me, look, that can happen, Donna. It is true. It can start that early on. Cancer can start that early on as a child. I could assume this, Donna saying that, but I've never heard that from spirit.
Me neither.
That it started that early on, and it sits there just like any dis-ease in the body. It sits there and is hidden. And when she starts smoking, it just brings that out even more. Again, she's not blaming anyone, even herself. She doesn't even blame herself. She goes, I guess that's just what I was meant to see in this lifetime. It's not a biggie.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see you concerned that it was a biggie. Yes, it's horrible to lose me, but it's not a biggie. And I'm asking her, are you saying that it's not a biggie? Are you saying that the cancer is not a biggie, or that losing someone's mother is not a biggie? And she's like, both.
Wow.
Because I want so much everyone to feel light the way I am right now.
Mm.
She's very wise.
Yes.
Did she have some sort of ability like I have?
I think so, but she didn't use it very much.
Yeah, I really feel that because of the way she's talking to me,
Mm-hmm.
that she gets the whole medium thing.
Yeah.
And the way she's expressing to you and to all of us, I just want everybody to feel light.
Mm.
The heaviness of so many things in your earthly plane, there's more than enough going on, that we don't need extra burdens when all of us here in the non-physical world, and as I do that, I turn to point, all of us here in the non-physical world are so light. And it's 1:11 right now here where I am as I say that. It's really a beautiful sensation I'm getting right now. Do you feel her that way?
Yeah, I do feel her light. It was not easy to lose her though, because she is the biggest love of my life. I mean, with the big picture, I understand.
I'm so sorry for your loss. We're still human and in this physical form, and we want that back. She says, you talk to me a lot, but you also talk to me telling me you want me back. Is that true, Sylvia?
I talk to her wanting to hear her back. I don't hear her back. I just feel like it's a one-way conversation.
Yes. What I get by the way she said that is when you talk to her, you think she's going to talk to you in words, just like you've always known in the physical world. And she says, even if I could do that, it wouldn't be what you think it's going to be. Do you understand? So she's telling you what she'd like you to do. Sylvia, are you very busy? Do you tend to move very fast? There's a lot going on in your life.
Typically in the past, but I slowed down with a big physical burnout the past few years.
Yep. So that's what she was talking about. The movement so fast doesn't help, but she wants you to slow down even more.
Oh.
And I'll tell you that if she had those abilities, you most likely have them also. And we all have them in some degree. But if it's a lineage thing, meaning she had it, your grandmother had it, her mother had it also. Her mother probably used it more than she did, she's telling me. Do you know that?
No.
No, her mother used it a little bit more, and she might have used it more woo-woo-y, like, oh, the gods of so-and-so are going to come and tell you this. You know, that's the way the mother, your grandmother used it.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun to see her. But she's saying you have it. And when you get over this little slump that you're going through right now, she says it's only a slump because you know what needs to be done. You know that there is only one thing that you need, and that is to give yourself more time to slow down.
Wow.
Give yourself more time to slow down. The way I sense that is, okay, I'm doing things, but yet I'm slower than I was doing things before. And she's saying, give yourself more time to slow down.
Okay.
So I would view that as less time and more slowing, less doing something less than what you were doing before, and more really truly stopping to do nothing, which I find interesting because you came in wanting to eat and do the reading at the same time.
Yes.
Isn't that a little nod to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, your mother, she knows, right? She knows you.
Is it possible for me to ask a question?
Yeah, let me get out first a little bit more. Hold on to the question.
Yeah.
Your mom had a lot of arrows. She wanted to go in many different directions. She would say, I'm going to do this, but maybe I should do that. She had a little bit of what you have. Do you understand?
ADD? I don't have it. I mean, maybe she had more.
I don't want to use a term like that.
Okay.
But I'll say that she was doing this and then wanted to do that.
Oh, doing many things. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
She's just showing me that. And do you feel that she had, like, I'm seeing all my shoes here. Either she literally had a lot of pairs of shoes, or I feel that she had her feet in many different fires. Do you understand that?
More the latter.
To her feet in many different fires.
Mm-hmm.
Many different things. Many, and like totally opposite things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I admit that. It kept me busy, and it kept me not hearing what I really needed to hear. Do you understand that?
Yes.
She says, that's the only thing I regret. Not anything you guys did or I did to you. It's just what I did to myself. Do you understand?
Yes.
And now I'm feeling that more. Donna is feeling that more with her comment earlier about she wants us all to be light. I don't want to do anything in my life that causes me more of a burden or to miss out on what I'm here for. She's saying I could have been a lot more comfortable with my life. I just feel that I ran, and I also allowed others to run with me. Meaning I picked them up along the way, and they're like, well, she's going, I guess I'm going too.
Okay.
She's settling down a little bit. She's sitting down now in spirit. She repeats again to me, Donna, I don't know if you guys there will understand what this lightness feels like. It is not only a lightness of being, but it is also a lightness of this mind that has been a part of life for all of you, your mind. And when I say light, mind doesn't exist in the world and the afterlife. So you feel so light. There's no thought about past, yesterday, the future. So it's not only the physical lightness in the afterlife, but the emotional lightness, the psychological lightness, the mental lightness. You understand that?
Beautiful.
She feels that it's very important for me, Donna, to understand what she's saying. I'm telling her I do. And I also tell her I get that it might be not so easy to feel that here in the physical world. I ask her about concerns that we all have, whether it's our own mental health, our own physical health. I feel she's so wise, Sylvia. I have to ask these questions while she's here.
Yes.
I ask her about the word concern and the concern we have for all of those things, which keeps our minds very active, doesn't it?
Mhm.
And she says the word concern concerns her. That's funny. She said, of course, concern doesn't happen here. We don't have concern for anything. She says, if you could wake up every morning and say to yourself, have a new mantra, I will concern myself with nothing but my lightness today.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like I got to write that one down too. I will concern myself with nothing but my lightness today. That's very good.
Oh my gosh, I have so many questions. I don't know if I can ask any.
Hang on, you can. You'll have time.
Okay.
She's just so wise. I need to hear more from her.
Yeah, I completely get it. I mean, wow.
Was she this wise in the physical world?
Yes, I don't just think that she didn't share much because maybe she was not paying attention to it, or I think she had something with self-esteem or not believing in herself.
Okay, that makes sense about what I said already, that she was just moving always so fast. And that's what she said. You see, because I moved so fast, I didn't allow myself anything.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't allow myself to feel what I really needed to feel. And that's why she brought in the lightness. No, she explained what you just explained already. She says, okay. She's doing this thing right now with her, what I perceive as her hands. And you know what Reiki is, yes?
Yeah.
And it feels or senses to Donna like Reiki, right? That's what she's doing. But she's doing it to the whole world. Sylvia, to the world. She's giving Reiki to the world.
Wow.
Talk about ascension. Talk about evolution. Talk about soul purpose.
Yeah.
She said, Donna, the correct statement is you have achieved your soul purpose in that lifetime, regardless whether you leave too soon, leave as a baby, leave as an elderly person, or leave unexpectedly. You have achieved your soul purpose. You understand that?
Yes.
She's telling the world, stop saying, I don't know my soul purpose. She says, yes, you all do, because you are right now experiencing your soul purpose.
Wow.
And then when you cross, whenever that is, when you cross into the afterlife, it lights up and more happens. But in the incarnation that you are in, that is your soul purpose. It's only for that time right then and there. I think what I'm getting from her is a lot of us think we have to come to the end of what our soul is meant to do forever, right? As a soul, but that is incorrect. She is saying everything you do is your soul purpose. So if Donna here, if I leave this earth tonight, I would have achieved my soul purpose here in this incarnation. So again, she says, when you wake up in the morning, what's the statement she sent to you? Say that again for me, Sylvia.
I will concern myself with nothing but lightness today.
Wow, I just got goosebumps all up and down my body, because I feel like when I took that message in from her, everything else disappeared. Everything else disappeared.
Yeah.
Any thoughts that I might have about, am I not achieving? What did I do today that didn't? Did I do that? Did that mean, should I not have done that? You understand all these words?
Yes.
They don't exist anymore when I only concern myself with my lightness every day, every moment.
It's amazing.
So I say to her, let's go back to the Reiki. She says, let's go back to the Reiki. When she started the Reiki for the planet, I had goosebumps from my feet to my waist, like just my leg.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
And I felt what she was doing for us as a planet. I don't like the word grounding, but it feels a sense of staying, not grounding, staying.
Anchoring.
Yes, staying where you are. It doesn't mean you can't move, right? Doesn't mean you don't walk and move forward. but stay in the lightness of the presence. Stay in the lightness of the presence.
Yes.
Because if you keep going forward and thinking future, or going back and thinking, should I have, did I not do enough? You're not staying in the lightness of the presence.
Beautiful.
She says, I don't want to trip people up based on these things that I've just said. And I said, I understand what you've just said. Sylvia understands what you've just said. She goes, but the world as a whole does not understand how light they truly are, as a whole, as a oneness. Got it?
Yes.
And I see the earth in my head. And, I have my knowings of why the earth is here for us, created for us. It just kind of floats there because it's very light. The earth itself is very light. It's like a styrofoam ball.
Mm.
It's not the heaviness that we perceive it, she tells me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you were to look at everybody who's listening right now, if you look at the earth in your head, if you try to envision the earth in your head, you think it's got mountains, it's got a lot of dirt, right? It's got a lot of water, oceans. That's got to be pretty heavy, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is not. It's very light.
Mm.
So what if the goosebumps on my legs when she was raking the world, we are a part of the world, then we make ourselves a part of that lightness. Do you understand?
Yes, definitely.
And when you anchor or you ground, you think you're digging into this deep earth, right? You think you're digging in. That's not what's there. It's like now they're showing me this bubble. The earth is just a bubble. If you could think light, more light when you walk, when you do anything, just be the light.
Mm-hmm.
Not be the light, like that's old paradigm. I don't like the word light. Like people say, send you love and light. I don't like that. That light doesn't exist. That sort of light doesn't exist. What if, Sylvia, what your mom is saying, be the light means be light.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean be the light.
Mm-hmm.
We're confused.
Yes.
Old paradigm. It's be light.
Not heavy.
Yes. Because when you say to someone, I send you light, well, what the heck does that mean?
Yeah.
Send me love me. But if you don't know what light means, meaning if you don't understand the lightness of who we truly are, you can't give it to any. You can't give that to someone.
Yeah.
You could say, may you find the lightness that you are.
Wow.
Instead of be the light, be light. Be light. Be physically light. Feel that. So she's doing Reiki to everybody right now. I'm totally receiving that one, right? You're totally receiving that, right?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
That's amazing, Mom.
It is amazing. It feels, I've been doing this for about 10 years. And it feels over the last 6 or 7 months, those in the non-physical world have been coming through so much in this evolutionary vibration. I can't even explain it.
Wow.
And it could be because we as souls here in this physical world, more are coming to me that have really done their work to allow this all to happen, right?
That's beautiful. Wow.
Oh, she's good. Sylvia, she's good.
Let's call her in anytime.
Okay, let me just take a breath and see. She's busy doing the Reiki right now. Not busy, but she can do a million things at once.
Yeah.
But she says, I'm going to do this Reiki for a while. And I said, well, it's the freaking earth. It's big, right? There's a lot of souls here. She said, yeah, Donna, I'll get to it.
Wow.
So she's going to get to everybody on the earth.
Wow.
I got a feeling that a lot of people are going to wake up tomorrow because of the vibration of what's happening right now in this session. A lot of people are going to wake up tomorrow and feel light.
Wow, that's amazing.
And not understand, how could this be happening? how do I feel totally different than what I felt yesterday?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's possible. So I keep thanking her in my head. I keep thanking her for everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Ask me first about anything she's already talked about before you go further. Remembering she is the lightness of soul right now.
Yeah. So for me to slow down, will I just receive her talking to me in the way that is not up in words, but will I receive messages from her and the divine more clearly if I just slow down? And is there any tip about how to interpret or to understand the message so that I don't confuse the message?
Slowing down is meant for you to become light.
Ah,
And when you become light, you hear more, you see more, you sense more because you're not bogged down by the concerns, right?
yes.
For me, I've done a lot of work on releasing a lot of my concerns. I'll use that word now, and being able to sense so many things in my head, but not attached to them. There's always a piece of me that's open to receive other things because it's not an attachment. There's a difference, right? Between focusing on something, whether it's breath or meditation or whatever, and attaching. The lightness comes from the non-attachment, which we've heard that word a million times. So give yourself enough time to slow down, which means stop using, oh, I've got this to do, I've got this to do, I've got this to do. How can I slow down? You're not giving yourself the time to slow down. You're making those commitments. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Stop making the commitments.
Okay.
Stop putting those things on your calendar.
Okay.
Remember, everything is your sole purpose. So if you miss out, if you say, oh, I was supposed to do that. No, you weren't. You were supposed to do this maybe, right? There's no such thing anymore. So you, she's saying, you, Sylvia, my dear, you have to figure out how to stop making so many plans.
Okay.
Even the plans for what you have in store next month, next year. There's only today. And are you saying to yourself something like, oh, I want to be able to do that next month or next year, but I don't, if I feel like this, I'm not going to be able to. Do you say things like that?
More like, because I'm in a transition, more like, what if I don't have the resources to do the thing I want to do? And really, like, I have questions because I'm in a place of blank where I would love to get some advice from my mom about my love life, about like moving forward.
She gave you it all already. But you see, your concerns
Yes.
are future.
Yes.
And what if blank is now your sole purpose?
Yeah.
And how can you sit with that blank slate? It doesn't mean that nothing ever is going to happen again. Doesn't mean that.
Mm-hmm.
But the real message is to sit in that blankness, to sit in that nothingness, to sit in that I don't know-ness.
Yeah.
All of us, I think, even myself, can say, I'm seeking for something else. I'm looking for that partner, that mate. I'm doing this. Am I not doing enough to get that? But when I say all those things, I'm not present with who I am. I'm not present with how light I am. I'm putting heaviness on myself because if I'm not this, they won't be that. If I don't do this, I won't find that. You see how there's always a if or a but.
Okay. Then a bunch of questions I have are out the window then.
You need to find your lightness, your lightness.
Mm-hmm.
Lightness, not light, lightness.
Ah,
We are not the light. We are lightness.
yes.
Good one.
Goodness. I love it.
So when you speak to her, call her mom, call her whatever you want to call her, but speak to her as the soul that she is right now,
Mm-hmm.
and not the person that she was. That's so typical of souls who have crossed. They don't want you to view them the way they were.
Oh.
Unfortunately, when you see a medium, you're like, oh, that's who she is now. Yes, that's who she is now.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody can get that message. Everybody can view their loved ones as the soul that they are.
Wow.
When I speak to Abraham Lincoln, my spirit guide, I speak to the soul who was Abraham Lincoln. I don't speak to Abraham Lincoln. I speak to the soul who was Abraham Lincoln. You understand?
Yes, yes.
So they were many souls in their many lifetimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not just your mother. She is now this mother of the Mother Earth. Do you understand?
Yeah.
He's giving Reiki to the earth, the people of the earth, not just the earth, the people of the earth.
Wow. I wish I could be hugging her right now.
You see what you just did, though? You're thinking about hugging the physical self.
Yes. I want to hug her.
Her light, her lightness.
I want to hug her lightness.
Yep. Just keep feeling her lightness, and she gets closer and closer to you, because it's not her changing, it's you changing. She doesn't have to do anything. You guys, we on the physical plane have to change to receive their lightness.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you to Sylvia's mother. Thank you for this wise and new message from the world of spirit. Thank you for the Reiki that you are giving all of us on this planet. Thank you for your wisdom. May we be content with the lightness that we truly are. To my guest this week, thank you for allowing me to be the link in these messages. And for all of you listening, we appreciate your appearance in the oneness. If you're interested in a reading for the show or a private reading with me, see the show notes for more info. Thank you for your rating and review of this podcast. Until next time.